You know, there's one curious part about her testimony, just like Mr. Gavin said. But what does it mean?
Mr. Justice, would you care to explain what you're thinking so intensely about?
Recall the testimony, Your Honour. The victim played with his hand on locket at his neck, I believe she said.
I hope you're not about to raise an objection to the witness's grammar.
No, but look at this photograph. Every time I do it makes me laugh. You see a locket on the victim's neck? Well done, Justice. I'm impressed. I knew you'd be able to handle this. But what does it mean?
If we're to believe this witness's testimony as is, then the locket disappeared following the victim's death.
Lockets don't just disappear, Your Honour. It's quite simple when you think about it. If the locket is gone, someone must have taken it. No.
Taking it off?
Wait, you don't mean? The defendant wasn't strangling the victim at all. He was taking off his locket. Wouldn't that explain it?
Defendant, what do you have to say to this?
Say yes.
I just noticed this, but you have something hanging around your neck, don't you?
Oh, you mean this? Yes, it's a locket with a photograph inside. A photo of my daughter.
Come again? Mr. Wright, you have a daughter?
We conferred at the time of the arrest. The picture in the locket is indeed Mr. Wright's daughter.
So Mr. Wright has a locket too? Why don't I buy this is just a coincidence?
Well now, if the results of this poker game led to the murder, perhaps you'd hear a bit more about the outcome of the game.
Further testimony won't really be necessary. It's clear the defendant lost badly.
Miss Orley, you will testify to the court about the game played between the victim and the defendant.
Duh.
The game began with 3,500 pointing chips for each man. Those chips come in two sizes, small and large. The one who was winning, was the victim. For last time, defendant played with all chips on table and lose. The moment the loss was decided, defendant grabbed bottle and table and...
Indeed, looking at this picture, it does seem to be a one-sided game.
As the court knows, poker was the defendant's life. Failure must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
How many times have I heard those words? I'd done it in a fit of anger, Your Honour.
Okay, auto-skip for some reason.
I'd done it in a fit of anger, Your Honour, and now regret what I'd done. A common tale, but true.
Methinks the judge watches too many old court movies. Mr. Wright said he hasn't lost in 7 years, so this testimony must be wrong. Are these the usual starting points? Were there any special rules used? No, not special. Usual game, usual rules.
If each man began with 3,500 points, the total would be exactly 7,000 points.
Please, this isn't a calculus, this isn't even long division. Are the chips in this photo all the chips that were used?
Of course.
Something's fishy with these chips. Should I press harder? Maybe you could explain a bit more about these chips. Explain? What's there to explain?
Poker chips are poker chips. They're not fish and chips. Not a chip off the old block, not a motorcycle cop, not...
Thanks. Now, Prester, I better ask something. What were these chips worth? Are they in dollars? What are the chips worth? Are they in dollars or rubles even?
Yet, as I've been saying before, it was game, not gambling. Hard perhaps for capitalists to understand. Two types of chip, 100 points chip and 1,000 point chip. It's not money, da?
Justice. Sir, don't you find her comment interesting? In more ways than one, sir. I'd have entered to her testimony myself. Does the defence want the witness to her testimony? Yes, I think it deserves further scrutiny. Add it to the testimony. I wish I knew where I was going with this. Very well. Witness, would you be so kind?
Da, Your Honour.
Mr. Gavin said the testimony is important. To be honest, I've no idea why. Mr. Justice, do the court a favour and think of what you want to say before raising your hand. We're not in kindergarten. Sorry, I'm fine. I better think of something to ask, and quick. The two types of chips.
Da?
The small ones are 100 and the big ones are 1,000, right? Right, of course.
Don't waste our time.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Great. Mr. Gavin made me stop her now, the one who looks dumb. Oh, Justice, please try not to embarrass me like that. Who, me? There's a clear contradiction in the information you have in your hands. What? It's a simple matter of calculation. Go on, try it. We're not in kindergarten after all. Calculation?
Objection!
You're sure it was the victim who won? Absolutely sure?
It seems our new attorney is a bit confused. A glance at the pictures enough to tell you who won. If you're not in kindergarten...
Just for safety's sake, can you explain the problem to the court? Of course, Your Honour. In this photo I see small chips and I see large chips. Tell me, which ones are worth 1,000 points?
The big ones, of course, duh!
Oh, I thought so too. But then the totals don't add up.
The totals?
Let's review what the witness told us. Each man started with 3,500 points in chips, and then combined total value of the chips was 7,000. Yes, if my calculations are correct. Let's see. 3 plus 1, carry the 5. They are, Your Honour. Now, look at this photo that allegedly shows all the chips. If the big chips are 1,000 points, and the small chips are worth 100, you add them up.
How much is it?
Do it yourself. You're not in kindergarten, are you? 10,600 points. The chips don't add up. This clearly contradicts the witness's testimony.
Why? How could this be?
Exactly, Justice. Now you know the what, you must determine the why.
Right.
There's only one possible way to explain the contradiction. The odd thing is a number of chips, right, Mr. Gavin? Why are you asking me? Just in case? Justice, it's your case I'm concerned about. If you're wondering about chips, just look at the photograph. It's all there. Even our judge with his failing eyesight could count them. It's not the only thing failing the judge. Let me ask you again. This calculation makes the answer clear. If the total combined points of the table were 10,600, each man started the night with 5,300 points. 5,300? That's rather half-baked score with which to start a game. Justice, with different starting points when you change it. Fuck's sake. Seems the defence objection's even more half-baked than the score. Time to head back to the kitchen. Right, there's only one possible way to explain the contradiction. Each man began the game with 3,500 points. If all the chips are indeed shown in the photograph, there can only be one answer. What is it? The value of the chips is the other way around. What? Well, know what I think? The small chips are worth 1,000, not the big ones. Madness! Utter madness! Show me the photograph of the chips again. There's 6 small and 10 large chips. Now it does make 7,000 points when you add them up. Excellent work, Justice. It's almost as though you figured it out by yourself. Oh, I'm just glad I was the one who said it. Wait! The value of the chips may be different, but that changes nothing. Indeed, the victim did have the larger number of chips still. Oh! Exactly. If the small chips are 1,000 points and the large chips are 100, let's do a little maths and add up the points for each side of the table. The victim, Mr. Smith, had 2,900 and the defendant 4,100. Well now, it seems Mr. Wright was winning the night after all. That's impossible! My client now had even less reason to kill the victim. After all, he was winning. Ah! Now, Miss Orley, you must have known the true value of the chips, since you were there at the scene of the crime, weren't you? Order! Order! It appears our defendant has lost his motive, and Mr. Wright's supposed defeat never happened. We must now ask ourselves whether we can trust the witness testimony. Excuse me, what is it, Miss Orley? I did not want to be saying this, but actually you see, See what, Miss Orley? What do we see? In the last hand there was cheat. A cheat? You don't mean a trick? Wait, do you mean a scam? They're all the same thing. No, there was cheat in last hand. That's why gay mentioned chips as they are. Great, just great. First we have lying, now cheating. Well, the case is certainly taking a turn for the interesting. Witness, will you please testify to the court? Tell us about this cheating in the final hand. Last hand, both men had full house. 4 of each card in deck from ace to king. If we look at both men's hands, cheat is more obvious. Next moment, game becomes argument.
defendant's trick was exposed. Took a bottle in his hand. Poor Mr. Smith.
Miss Hawley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, time to throw back the cover. A full house is a very high-scoring hand. Not easy to make in my experience.
There are loads enough to suspect less than scrupulous tactics.
Mr. Gavin, what's a full... For fuck's sake, really?
Lawyers these days, you don't know your poker.
I can't say this bodes well for your case or career. Was this some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice, you know the terms one pair, two pair and three of a kind, yeah? Yeah, no problem. 2 cards of the same number makes a pair, 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture the hand with 1 pair and 1 3 of a kind. That's a full house. Doesn't sound easy to make, does it?
You can see each player's hand in this photo.
Wow, they both have full houses.
We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and go undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
The defence may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last stand, that still leaves an important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand? Have you ever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? And just how hard is it to make a full house anyway?
It's quite hard, though. He's making pair and 3 of kind at the same time.
I guess that's right. Very difficult to be sure. You can take my word as the poker head of courtroom number 3.
Very difficult, though, but not impossible.
Okay, full house, hard. It's not questioning, a waste of time. Four of each card, you say?
Duh. There's 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. There's an interesting fact for number 4. It comes with a number of seasons.
You don't say. Do you know the cards are numbered 1 to 13? And all the cards in the deck, you get 364 a year. Huh. You don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
That's why each deck has 2 jokers. They say the second joker stands for the leap year. Plus you have a perfect representation of the year all in a deck of cards.
I can't believe that I didn't know that. I'm very big into playing cards. Huh, you don't say. We're going to be in this courtroom for another year if it keeps going like this. Excuse me. How was it clear?
Duh. Well, defendant. He played a 5th ace.
5th ace?
I still remember both hands very well. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 aces. And Mr. Wright's too.
Obviously cheating was afoot. Or perhaps you could say a hand.
Your Honour, perhaps this can be added to testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well, the witness will add this detail to her testimony, please.
Objection!
It appears the witness was mistaken.
Mistaken? But my name?
Look, this piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chips, is it not? Justice, perhaps you want to explain your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Please point out the contradiction in this photo.
Take that. Miss Orley, in your testimony you made the following claim. Mr. Smith's hand has 3 aces. As you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces.
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused. Perhaps it was the defendant's hand that held the 3rd ace in question.
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also has 2 aces in his hand. Where's the 5th ace? I see cheating alright, and it's going on right here in the courtroom.
2 aces in each player hand makes 4 aces in total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It's true, I've seen the 5th ace. There was cheating, I swear to you.
That's odd. She must be lying, and yet she's the most sincere she's been all day. You'll like to trust your instinct. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us entire ahead? Your Honour, if I may, I have a suggestion.
What might that be, Mr. Gavin?
If you don't mind, perhaps you might examine the optimal cards.
The cards?
Mr. Payne.
Yes?
The players' hands that night are set aside as evidence, are they not? Defence would like to request the cards be shown to the court.
Very well. The prosecution will submit its evidence. Which will you examine? The victim's cards or the defendant's cards?
If these cards don't prove cheating was going on, nothing will. Now, which of these hands is more suspicious? It was the victim's hand that changed over the course of the witness's testimony. Defence requests time to examine Mr. Smith's cards.
Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Time's a wasting. Get to it, Justice. Well then. Only one of these cards is a blue back. I'm much more of a red guy myself. Blue, not some red, you know. Yes, sir. Ah. Yes, okay, I don't need the fucking tutorial, I've already demonstrated. What? Your Honour, look at this. Well, the victim's cards. The back's a different colour.
It's impossible. I put the card in my hat.
What was that, Miss Orley?
Yet, I nearly...
Your Honour?
Mr. Gavin, yes?
Tell me, what's the easiest way to cheat at poker?
To cheat?
I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer.
Ah!
So you mean... This witness, Miss Orley? She's the cheater, a professional, I'd wager.
Yet!
Order! Order!
Focus, Justice. Trying to take advantage of her. Of her mistake. Your Honour, please recall the testimony we just heard.
That's impossible. I put the card in my hand.
Ergo, Mr. Ola Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Sadie Smith.
Oh!
Not only did she cheat, she cheated poorly.
Therefore, it's not hard to imagine an altercation between her and the victim.
Ah!
Wait, you don't mean the defence isn't accusing the witness, Miss Ogre Orley, are you? Time for justice. There are 3 people in the room at the time of the incident, and if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defence accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of murder.
Ah!
Mr. Payne, where's your witness, Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she's lost consciousness, Your Honour.
Mr. Justice, Your Honour, it seems you presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting a connection between the witness and the victim, Mr. Smith. And that means this court cannot pronounce a verdict for the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging this trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Phoenix? Mr. Wright? You can't end the trial here, Your Honour. Not yet.
What nonsense is the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards are different coloured back. Do you wonder what that means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright? Raising objections right now when you're about to get off the hook is ridiculous.
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know Mr. Wright has a talent for the ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear up the facts about the game that fateful night. As was said before, we alternated between 2 decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
The 2 decks of the club are different coloured backs, blue and red. 1 colour per deck. Why use different coloured backs? If we use the same colour, the 2 decks might get mixed. You use different colours and they still got mixed up. We used the red deck for the last game. I see, but that's odd. For some reason I have this impression you were using the blue cards. Me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, 1 card in the wrong colour got into the mix, which means there was cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would seem to indicate cheating. Yet this card raises 2 serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are 3 broad possibilities here. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, or after the murder.
Oh yeah, thanks for the news bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was
Oh? It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne, or it might not be. I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the cards were swapped? Oh, it must have happened before the murder. You mean during the game? I wonder. Huh? Why? Think. When you're playing poker, which side of the cards face your opponent? I fucking knew that too. Why did I say that? The back. Not something the poker head of courtroom number 3 would be likely to miss. Let me think about this some more. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
What's that? Ridiculous! What's the point of cheating after the hand's been shown? That's silly!
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son, there's a lot of silly in this world, but very little impossible.
Even when the backs of the cards are a different colour? If you pulled that during the game, you'd be caught in no time. Quite true. That would mean the blue card in question was swapped after the hand was shown, after the murder.
Okay, this is going past silly and straight on to crazy. I ask again, what's the point of cheating after a game is over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That's one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet decisive question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for a blue card? Who? The game and the murder is done, the victim is dead. Only two remain in the room, alive that is. The defendant Phoenix Wright and our witness Olga Orley. It must have been Olga Orley who swapped the cards, trying to cover up evidence of the cheating. That does make some sense. Sorry, but there's a problem with that explanation. Huh? The swap card was from the wrong deck. Yes, the blue card was stuck into a red hand. Mixing a card from the wrong deck when the backs are different colours? Remember, you're talking about Olga Orley. She was the dealer. Do you really think she'd make such a novice mistake? I have trouble imagining even the judge making that mistake. Give it a little more thought, Apollo. Right. Must be someone else then. The one who swapped the card wasn't Mr. Wright, of course. And, well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Olga Orley either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly a logical conclusion, I admit. As a defence, I think it only makes sense for you to name Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know, but she was the one who dealt the cards, right? I just can't believe she'd make the mistake of swapping the wrong colour card. If the card was swapped during the game, it'd be obvious. Something you'd like to show the court, Mr. Wright? My apologies, Your Honour. I'm just thinking about how much fun this all is.
Fun? How about confusing? I've no idea what defence is claiming, Your Honour. If the one who swapped the card wasn't the defendant and wasn't Miss Orley, then who was it?
Yeah, well, that's the question, isn't it? Precisely. Eh? I believe we're about to see the case take a new direction. A new direction? We'll find that, indeed, after the murder, someone swapped one of the cards in the victim's hand. And that someone made two critical mistakes. And should have gone to tell us the first was swapping the wrong colour card, because the one who did the swap didn't know two colours of cards are being used. The other mistake was the number on the card. Right, the person replaced the fifth ace with a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace after all. All they knew was that the game had been won by a full house, so they picked up a king from the table and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to our case record, this person doesn't exist.
True, not until now, but you have to admit the possibility of a fourth person. Though, it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there that night of the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. You do make trials ridiculous, Mr. Wright. The trials proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, the time of the incident there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this new evidence, shall we say, overturns that assumption. The problem is you chose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose it is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honour. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. That was quite unexpected, Mr. Wright. To suddenly claim there was another person at the scene of the crime like that? I must ask, is it the truth? Well now, I think you would know the answer to that. Ah, being mysterious, are we? Sadly, I've no time for mysteries. I'd only ask you leave the to your defence in the future. Otherwise, I cannot guarantee the outcome. I see you haven't mellowed out one bit, Christoph. Justice. Yes, sir? The judge has summoned me to his chambers, so carry on without me. You did well, Apollo. Can I ask you something? Sure. That locket you wear, is it really yours, Mr. Wright? Ah, you're wondering about the victim's disappearing locket. Here, you can take a look at it. There's a picture of my daughter in there. I'm just surprised to hear you had a daughter. Most people are. Perhaps you'll meet her one of these days. One more question. The one who cheated that night, was it you? What do you think? Eh? You know what happened 7 years ago, what I did. It's not unreasonable for you to think I might cheat. I never, honest, but it is odd he managed to go undefeated for 7 whole years. Want to know something? There's only one game where you can be dealt bad cards all night and still win. Poker. Eh? You see, poker's all about reading your opponent. In that way, it's a lot like a court case. Poker's like trial law? Figure out what your opponent is thinking, and you win. Yeah, but that's all that it sounds. I think not. Try as they might to conceal it, everyone reveals their true thoughts in the end. Their body language can become a valuable source of information. You're kidding. The witness, for instance, Miss Orley. She would touch the back of her neck during certain parts of her testimony. Did you notice? No. Words, habits, twitches, it's all information for the reading. That's the secret to winning, Apollo. Someone taught me, and now I pass the secret on to you. But I'm not worthy. I mean, there's no way I pick up on these signals. No, you can do it. Eh? You just don't know it yet. What's he talking about? But you will, soon. Ah, I almost forgot. One more thing about this case. You should know I haven't told the truth to anyone yet. Ah? I knew it. I have my reasons, of course. All shall be revealed. And Apollo, I need you to be there defending me. I need your power. My power? I had no idea my calls to steel were that special. It's time. The real trial begins now. Do your best.